John Ford made westerns. Those aren't all he made, of course, but the director practically invented the western on screen. After a long absence from the genre in the 1930s, his first sound westerns were Stagecoach and My Darling Clementine. There's plenty of genre similarities between the two. They've both got quintessential western stars at their center, horses, and, of course, gunslinging. But these two films were separated by 7 years and one war. When America joined the Allied forces in World War II, John Ford, who had just won 3 Academy Awards for Best Director, joined the Navy and became their head documentarian. Ford didn't work from behind a desk. He personally filmed combat during the first wave at Omaha Beach on D-Day, and he took shrapnel in the arm while he filmed the Battle of Midway. We might be able to see and imagine what John Ford saw while he was a filmmaker on the front lines. But what did he hear? There's a funny thing about the waveforms for Stagecoach and My Darling Clementine. Both films are just about the same length, and their loudest moments come at almost exactly the same point in their runtime. What's more, as it turns out, both of these moments are the same kind of scene. A carriage chase. In Stagecoach's chase, it doesn't exactly play it subtle, especially in the musical score. Stagecoach takes real joy in making a lot of noise with this scene, and here it even acknowledges that bombastic soundscape with this reaction shot. This scene's willingness to play its violent, clashing sounds for comedy indicates a very different ideological perspective on the subject matter than that of My Darling Clementine 7 years later.
Hey! Hey! Hey!
In the scene from My Darling Clementine, there is no musical score, no yips or hollers. The sound is saturated by horse hooves and punctuated only by the repetitious shouts of the driver. Oftentimes, the cuts are marked by jarring shifts in sound perspective. It's not terribly hard to guess which of these films was made before the war and which was made after. The endings to these films also feature similar standoffs typical of the Western genre. Again, their approaches to music, perspective, and sound saturation set them apart from one another. At the onset of violence, Ford cuts away from the fighting and places the climactic gunshots in the distance. Instead, we hear his love interest up close, and the scene becomes a sequence that builds suspense over Ringo's death instead of detailing the gunfighting itself. Of course, Ringo prevails.
I'm giving you a chance to submit to proper authority.
My Darling Clementine plays things very differently.
Which one of you killed James?
I did.
It's very hard to tell who's on which side shooting at whom, and it's not clear who speaks the last words before the first gunshot. Whoever does instigates the killing.
I'm gonna kill you.
John Ford isn't directing a suspense scene here. And he's not even directing a proper action scene where we can follow who's winning and losing and root for our side. He's directing a scene of chaos, thunder, confusion. Judgment falls aside. Every gunshot is as meaningless and random as the others. And every fallen body is filmed with the same sense of sadness. Both of these films are Hollywood westerns, produced as escapist entertainment without expectations of the critical glory they would end up attaining. Studying these two films made on both sides of a wartime combat experience isn't just a way to show how movies are influenced by their context to make political points. Their differences demonstrate that sound design is not just the process of wielding an abstract set of functional tools. Our personal experiences shape our understanding of how something is represented through sound, and that can have a profound impact on how we receive and communicate the world around us. To hear why, all you have to do is listen.